Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Popcorn Watch List podcast, where we discuss and celebrate our favorites in TV and film. I am your host, Xavier, and today we are taking it back to a little bit of that is it or isn't it a Christmas movie spirit with one of the greatest movies of Bruce Willis's historical career. Yes, we're going to be talking about Die Hard. Thank you, Danny, by the way, for recommending Die Hard for this episode. I've always loved talking about this movie specifically, but if you can remind the rest of the audience, what was your inspiration for picking Die Hard?
Well, the reason I chose Die Hard is because Zach hasn't seen it.
Nice.
Pretty much the main reason.
It's like 20% of all of this.
Movie.
Yeah.
20% of all this is just to get Zach to seeing all these classics.
Yep.
And get that young kid perspective.
But other than that, it was we were in the Christmas spirit, in the holiday mood. This was supposed to come out
Like 2 weeks ago, probably.
2 weeks ago.
But Danny, this isn't a Christmas movie.
Yeah. So there you go. It's not Christmas, so we're releasing the episode.
It's not Christmas, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
But we'll get more into
It's a winter movie.
Yeah.
And we're still in winter.
True. We'll get more into our thoughts on if it is a Christmas movie or just Christmas references in the movie. But yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting. So, obviously, this was the movie that I think really springboarded Bruce Willis's career to a whole different level. Because at first he was known as this comedy guy. So a lot of people would see Bruce Willis.
I cannot imagine.
Yeah, that's the
very
thing. You should watch
strange, yeah.
Moonlighting and Hudson Hawk and all this stuff. It's just okay. He has legit comedic timing, which you can tell.
I mean, you can tell in this movie,
I think
too.
the only
lot of sense in
thing
this
comedy
movie.
related I ever saw him in was those few episodes of Friends.
Oh yeah.
That was it.
Man, he never watched what was that movie with him and Tracy Morgan? It was like an action. It was like
the cop ones.
Yeah,
Cop Out.
The Cop Out. Yes, that movie's actually kind of cool. And he played straight man.
The whole 9 yards.
The whole 9 yards. Yeah, he's like this weird hitman. Yeah. Holy crap! I forgot about Whole 9 yards. Amanda Pete's in that.
Whole 10 yards.
That's the sequel.
God. What year did these movies come out?
That was early 2000s, or is it mid 2000s?
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
they're more recent.
Yeah.
Whole 9 yards, it was 2000.
It was early 2000s. Yeah, the Price is Right rules. I lose, but whatever. So yeah, Zach, what were your thoughts when Danny recommended Die Hard? Were you like, finally, I get to watch Die Hard?
Or you're like, oh.
Another 80s movie.
No, definitely more of the former, because I was like, okay, I haven't seen this before. Part of me was always planning on watching it eventually, but it was a great time to just do it now and get out of the way, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, man.
Ooh, so we'll get to
Thoroughly
more of
enjoyed
that.
it. I mean, it also has another favorite actor of yours since you've plowed through all the Harry Potter movies.
Like 50 times,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
Mr.
late
Severus. Well,
the late great Alan Rickman. Yeah, rest in peace, sir. That was. I think he passed also in 2016. That was a rough year for a lot of David Bowie
It was
died.
very early in the.
Yeah.
Was it early in the year too?
Yep, it was David Bowie, Alan Rickman. People were like, the Grim Reaper is coming in hot. Taking out a lot of stuff. But that's another movie that made really skyrocketed Alan Rickman too. I think it's just so fun to see. Everybody
Such a cool villain.
Yeah, people know him as the awkward, creepy Cerberus thing. It's but do you see him as this cool, calculating villain, full on villain as Hans Gruber in Die Hard?
It's hard to picture him with the goatee and everything.
Yeah.
He had the whole beard and everything. Yeah, this suave yuppie 80s German villain dude.
Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber.
With the accent and no cape from
No cape, no wands.
No black hair, all black.
No slick
Yeah.
black hair goth
Everything.
kid that grew up to be a bully as a
walking
teacher.
with
Very edgy.
Who sent you?
Yeah, I knew him from... Before I think I watched this, I knew him from Robin Hood.
Yep, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. That was also my first introduction to Alan Rickman. He was the sheriff of Nottingham. And then as I got a little older, I ended up watching Die Hard. And I'm like, oh snap, it's the sheriff. I would look it's the sheriff. I was like, man, that guy's I would always know, like, man, he's like the perfect bad guy. Like, he would be I knew him as being like typecasted as a villain. But you know, obviously, Alan Rickman has done so many other things. Like,
Dogma.
one of my favorite movies he's in is actually Galaxy Quest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, actually very, very surprising. Like, yeah, dude, like that's a really cool movie.
Another one I have not seen.
Galaxy Quest, dude. You love Star Trek, dude. Galaxy Quest is like it's like if you were to put it in a grouping of all the different like Star Trek movies, it would be up there as like one of the best.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's like one of the top like 5 or 6 movies as if it were like you're counting it as a Star Trek movie.
Like what if we're comparing it to like the reboot?
Yeah, no, including all of them, like the reboots and the
okay.
not reboot stuff. Yeah, dude, like it's that good.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, I like anything space sci-fi. I mean, I'm down for
Yeah,
checking
man.
that out when it's
Gal-
hopefully.
Yeah, dude, Galaxy Quest is good.
Because what year is that movie? It's gotta be.
That's
99?
probably- Yeah, that's probably 99 or 2000.
99, yeah.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
That had a
was
up and coming
a-
Sam Rockwell.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Up and coming Tim Allen.
Nice.
No.
So, going into it, Danny, yeah, like, the main reason you picked this was to kind of, restoke the argument of, like, is it or isn't a Christmas movie, right?
Pretty much. That's exactly what you got to do every Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, there are people who,
Or
they are
die-hard
fans. Stole it. He stole my story.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it is. It's always it always comes down to being a debate. Sometimes, personally, like I'll let everyone else kind of give their 2 cents. Very quickly, I'll say that there are times where I will think maybe it isn't, and then I'll rewatch the movie and go, man, it really is. Like the more you think about it, and even then, I don't even think like even the director like necessarily thinks of it as, but because it's art, you can kind of make your own interpretation. And the general populace seems to think it's a Christmas movie. But I'll let the rest of the panel open on through. Anthony, go.
I mean, the movie ends on Christmas Day,
Oof.
but that's really only it. I mean, the beginning of the movie is this company's having their Christmas party, even though most companies have their Christmas parties around the middle of December.
Yeah, what
but
the
I
hell
guess
are they doing it on Christmas Eve?
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, this
Was it a
crazy,
Friday or something?
this
Like,
crazy
what's up with
company
that?
decided to do their
my mom's company did it the first week of December.
right. They for
Their
some
Christmas
reason this
party.
crazy company decided to do it on Christmas Eve. They're savages, but
No family for you.
so
Come to work.
in that regard, there's Christmassy elements just because there's a Christmas party.
Yeah.
No,
They're
what-
playing Christmas music. There's
Well,
Christmas decorations within Nakatomi Plaza because of the party.
yeah,
But like,
the Santa Claus.
it's
dump.
not like you're right, but it's not like I can understand when people say no, it's not, because it's not like Home Alone where like it straight up is
Correct.
like the reason he stayed home is because his family left on Christmas to go somewhere else on a trip. So it's like he's stuck at home alone on Christmas and he's spending Christmas by himself. So Home Alone is a Christmas movie. So I could see why people may consider this not to be a Christmas movie, but I like to be one of those ones that just say yes, it is, just because literally the end of the movie is like it's on Christmas and they're driving away and then they play Christmas music at the end.
They
credits.
play Let It Snow.
Yeah, so I mean, there's Christmassy elements.
You can't cut the power. It's Christmas Eve. It's definitely the plot doesn't have anything to do with Christmas per se. It happens to just exist on
during
Christmas.
Christmas.
Right.
Yeah, it's a heist during Christmas.
So yeah, I mean, it could easily be a movie for someone to just rewatch every Christmas because hey, it's a movie that revolves around Christmas. But
Takagi is
You
Scrooge,
never know.
Except this time Scrooge gets shot in the head.
I mean, it is a different, let's say,
I would say-
category for.
I would say
Christmas
it
movies.
is. I would say it is, but it could easily be said that it's not. So
I can see both sides to it, but I would also say like, hey, if you want to see an action movie on Christmas, this is your one.
this
to go.
one or
Violent Night. That one's more
That's
of
a
a Christmas.
Christmas
That's a
That is
Christmas movie.
100% a Christmas movie. That is definitely.
This one is
No,
kinda
it's
like,
not. It's just a Santa Claus.
If anyone's out here saying Violent Night is not a Christmas movie, when it has the literal Santa Claus.
Niklaus.
Yes, yeah. Nikomund the Red. going out with his.
I liked all the
trusty-
backstory on that one.
His trusty skull
The
crusher.
Norse.
Dude, I showed family that movie, and they're like, "This movie's amazing." Like for it being like over the top violent, like there's so many Christmas songs. Anyway, we're dovetailing. So you would say, based off the evidence, even though they're counter, like Anthony, Danny, that you would say that
If someone says it's not, I'll give it a pass. But I'll watch it on Christmas, and I'll say it's. Christmas
It will
movie.
be part of the rotation.
Yeah,
okay. With that,
part of the
here's
shuffle.
Do you think it's a Christmas
the moment of truth. Yeah, Zach, what do you think?
or not story?
Okay,
Christmas
so
movie.
I want to say, so you say yay or nay?
Man, honestly, the more I think about it, again, I have to honestly say yay. There's so many, like, I want to hear
Yay that it is, or yay that it's not?
Yay, it isn't. Yay, it's a Christmas movie.
Okay.
Like, because,
like, yay! I'm watching.
like,
Die Hard.
like he's trying to use the spirit, like
The spirit of Santa.
It's, no, like not even a spirit of Santa, but like he's trying to use the what's supposed to be like the supposed Christmas cheer to try to help rebuild his marriage.
Yeah.
Like under the context of Christmas, he's trying to go all out. He hires a limo. You have the villains making overt references like, "Oh, I'm gonna bring you a Christmas miracle." Like,
Yeah.
I bring you the FBI. You have people schmoozing for the Christmas holiday party. Like you have like gifts
Schmoozing.
going on, literal schmoozing and
Yeah.
smooching. You have references of things like, hey, you can't do stuff. It is Christmas Eve. Like there are references to Christmas. Like I can see like, oh, they're just referencing Christmas. It's not actually a Christmas movie, but a lot of things happen because it's Christmas. So because it's Christmas, you'd have to then
It's like
say it
intertwined
is.
into the plot.
Right.
Yeah.
Like people taking Christmas cocaine. Like that's part of it.
Yeah, like that. They're snorting snow. No, all 80s style. And
Snow nog. That's what it is.
it's like, yeah, but yeah, there's some counters in it, but like the very end, the big climax of the movie where John's hiding the gun, he's using Christmas wrapping, like
Yeah.
that. That's like
Ho, 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 ho.
yeah, ho ho ho! I have a machine gun. It's one of my favorite lines in the entire movie.
So Zach,
So Zach, with all that said, I hope that's not influencing your
No,
thoughts. but
I'm just trying to see
I wanna
because
know.
you say yes, Anthony says no, Danny says yes.
Well, I said yes.
No.
Yeah, we said yes. Oh, okay.
He
I
says
said no.
they both say
I
yes,
said-
but they can see the merits for no.
Okay.
Although like I say that, but I'm more on the lines of it actually
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat. I think it is. I believe it is. I mean, it is, like I said, intertwined into the plot. It's like interwoven into it. And I can see the arguments to say that it's not really, but I think wholeheartedly it is a Christmas movie. Absolutely.
Yeah, because they could have just written it that there wasn't a Christmas party going on. It was just some other company party, and then therefore there would be no Christmas elements in the movie. But they wrote it.
They specifically
this is happening
wrote it
on
like-
Christmas Eve,
Yeah.
and it takes place
Exactly.
over the whole night of Christmas Eve.
Yeah, even
They
even
wrote it that way.
the shiesty reporter played by William Atherton is just like, oh, it's gonna be the last time they can see their kids. It's almost like a Christmas thing. So it's like you gotta do it. It's like, and so like they interweave that kind of like, guys, it's Christmas. You have to do X or Y or Z action. Like
Yeah.
it kind of it's baked into it. Yeah, I like that. We're all in agreement. That's so anyone there, if you're listening and we post this episode up, if you disagree, we'd love to hear that. We're always
Fight us
open.
in the comments.
Yeah, metaphorically speaking, don't actually throw hands.
Tell us why we deserve lumps of coal for our
Ooh.
decision.
Definitely not a
For
shot to the head.
this year.
No.
Yeah, definitely not a shot to the head. Rip Ellis and Takagi. But yeah, I think with that, I think Danny has seen this a couple times. Zach never seen it. Like, what in your opinion, what would be some like obvious like your standout moments of the movie? Because I don't think we need to go through a whole rundown of every sequence, like the whole like
Oh, yeah.
bumping around with the limousine or like Argyle, like just
Argyle,
trying to
baby.
do Argyle.
Argyle's great.
Yeah, Argyle's great. Like the whole idea of just like, John not being able to put his shoes on before everything happening, like the Christmas party and the fact that he's saying, oh, it's going by her name, the whole like shebang of the whole prelude before the terrorists show up. They're really just robbers, not really terrorists, but yeah. What are your standout moments?
Well, the first one that I was hoping for was actually something that we talked about before. the movie started, I'm like, oh, is this line in this movie? And then Danny confirmed it. Is the Yippee-ki-yay
Oh yeah.
part?
Mhm.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
I had heard that line obviously like
This is the
everywhere.
this is where it comes from. Like now you understand it.
I was like, oh,
He's there on the radio. Like he just yeah.
You were Leo. Leo DiCaprio.
And,
Like,
just-
woo?
and then he just snapping like, and it's great that he does it off the radio and like he's on like that high of like yeah, I killed that dude's like yippee-ki-yay, and they're just like what like what the hell did you just say?
He's a cowboy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they were talking about like a cowboy.
Yeah, and like him with the cop, you know, I don't know if that was a surprise to you that you have a Carl Winslow.
Yeah, well, because I saw him in the there on like the before you play the movie.
Yeah, it has like the
Has him
preview,
in the shot
like the
there.
shots, and everything. You're like, whoa, he's in this movie.
And I didn't even pay much attention, to it, but then I realized, oh yeah, that's right, yeah, he's in this movie. I was like, oh, Mr. Winslow, Mr. Winslow.
It's just a prequel to the show. Like,
That's what I always thought. I was
like
like,
the
is
show
this
is just a
prequel?
spin-off of
Even
his
though
movie.
it like Family Matters is like set in Chicago, like it's
he got transferred.
he got transferred from LA to Chicago and then had a family again. Yeah, man, Reginald Vell Johnson is too endearing. Like everything he's in, like you're just like
He's in or he was in Invincible, right?
He is
He-
invincible.
Oh, is okay.
he is
He's
the principal
yeah, the principal
of
You're right.
the
Reginald Vell Johnson
Yeah,
High.
he plays himself.
He
Oh, sorry, wait, he plays
the principal of the
his
school
namesake.
named after him. Like
Yeah.
that is the weirdest meta thing ever, and I think that's freaking hilarious. Like, and they just roll with it. Like, there's never like a wink of it of when his characters, the principal's there. Like it's like if you know it, cool. If not, you're just gonna be like, okay, whatever. Like,
Well, initially, honestly, like this is like
That's just
we're going totally
you know
off
that
tangent.
the
But-
that
Like-
show is made by like 80s kids.
Like I know
80s
people who watch that show and they don't get the reference. They're like, okay, like it's that guy. He's like, that's what a weird name for a school. It's like I'm like, you've never seen Family Matters. Oh, you were born in 2004, and then it's like,
because I recognize the voice because I didn't catch the name of the school because I didn't know
back.
the actor's name.
it's Reginald.
Like or I never like really.
Awesome.
I just knew him as like from Family Matters.
Yeah,
Then I heard the voice. I'm like, oh wow, it really sounds like the guy from Family Matters.
exactly.
Just like
I look it up and it's like, oh wow, his name is the school.
Just like the dad from Fresh Prince, Uncle Phil. He's the voice of Shredder in the 80s Ninja Turtles cartoon.
Yeah, a lot of people forget that. And it's just like, wait, what? And
Never
absolutely
seen
right.
it, but that's cool to know.
Yep. It's so freaking cool.
Now, any other
Never
parts
seen
that
it.
stand out?
Yeah, dude. Like all the iconic
I'm trying
Die
to think
Hard
of.
stuff.
Oh, like him hiding in the vents too.
Yeah.
Like him getting very close to being caught, and then the sigh of relief of him like he's beating sweat and
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole I love the concept of this movie. Those situations really like nail the concept home. Is like this isn't like a super cop. Like I can go in there, whoop everybody's butt, and I'm fighting like 80 guys. He's like playing cat and mouse against 12 different people. And you know he takes his licks. Like he gets beat up a little bit. It's not perfect. Like every scenario, like every fight isn't this like win-win area or like the point where it's like yeah I'm the best. I'm gonna just whoop you senses. Like he gets cornered. Like the one scene where the guy's trying to shoot him is like haha you run out of table. And he's like well okay and just shoots him through the table.
Thanks for the advice.
Yeah, he's like thanks. Yeah, he's like you should have just shot me. He's like okay thanks for the advice, buddy. Like you can tell, like again, like that's where the comedic chops like kick in. Like it's a serious situation, but the timing is perfect.
I wonder if any and how many of his lines were probably just ad libbed.
Of him just like talking to himself while he's like running away.
Probably.
I'm honestly not too sure.
With the scene in him being in the air vent, kind of also reminded me of a little bit of the first Mission Impossible. It was no, not the first one. Wait, was it the first one where he's
yeah, it was the first one. Yeah, the first one.
Understand?
he's like the beat of sweat, like
Yep.
like nothing can like happen to that room.
Yep.
That's kind of like what it happened. Like he couldn't do anything. He couldn't like.
There's a whole
making
like
sure that he was there.
there's a whole like stunt story about how the whole vent scene went through. Like it's I think like them falling down like from the one vent. I think the was by accident, and then I think the director was like, no, keep that, and like I want you to try to like like do it again because again like I grabbed the thing and then oops I fell, but like the stunt guy fell. It's like we'll use the shot of him falling and then we'll cut somewhere else and then we'll just have him grab onto it again. And then it looks like he recatches it. Remember in the vents where he like falls and then he recatches another area of the vent so he doesn't like plummet to his death. They actually had a goof where the stunt guy, or I think fell down and then he hit the mat. And they're like, we'll have the shot of him falling or like the stunt guy falling, and then we'll cut back to like Bruce Willis just holding on to his hands, and then like him recatching the vent again.
Well, that was also when he was holding on to the rope, or not the rope,
Like the strap
sling,
from
the strap from the gun, and
Yeah.
it was like bending in, and then that's where it fell. And he like,
Yeah, and then like they'll use it was like initially like a goof, or not a goof, but like a mistake of like, oh, like the stunt guy like incorrectly got them, like, oh, we're gonna use that. Like there's little things
That's
that
cool.
makes it more realistic. There's a lot of really cool tidbits if you want to know like trivia. I won't go through all of them, but I will, like, again, this is like a shameless plug for this series on Netflix. The movies that made us, there is a whole episode on Die Hard from like the production. Like I didn't know that this was originally like loosely based off a book, but apparently like
Oh, that was
yeah.
something that surprised me too. When I saw in, like the opening credits, it said based on the novel. I was like, oh,
Yeah, so apparently the novel has a real downer ending. So like the whole thing with Hans Gruber like falling and like holding on and falling, that was supposed to be like the main character and like his daughter falling from the book or whatever. And so it's like, no, we're gonna invert it and twist it to make it so like the villain falls off. Yeah, so it's like,
Better-
hey,
better.
it was like your classic your standard Hollywood style ending. Good guy wins in the end.
because it leaves room for sequels.
I mean, I don't think they were thinking about sequels.
10
because
more sequels.
they were really scared that the movie wasn't going to do well because people were so adverse to Bruce Willis that if you look at the original posters for Die Hard, it was just the Nakatomi Tower without Bruce Willis's face. And then they screened the full version of the movie and like, yo, this movie's awesome. And like, okay, we gotta put it back. Yeah, there are a lot of really cool tidbits and like
He'd only been in like a few movies before this.
yeah, and they were all like not this style, especially coming from the guy who directed Predator. This is John McTiernan, who went and like, he's like your quintessential 80s action guy, and now he makes like a cool like a sort of subversion of the 80s action movie, and then creates a whole subgenre of an action movie where it's like your everyday man having to get through all this stuff. So you talked about the vents, you talked about the yippee-ki-yay, the ho ho ho, I have a machine gun. I mean, it was pretty wild that these guys had like a rocket launcher that they just set up.
Yeah,
yeah, they like bolted
I
it
was
to the
wondering
floor.
what
Yep.
they were going to use it for, and I guess that made sense.
Yeah, they did it as an intimidation a scare tactic. Like they shot up some SWAT guys. Like that was out of hand too. Oh, dude. Okay, how wild is it? And like again, like you're seeing that you think it's a standard action movie, and you see like one of the villains like, I'm gonna grab this candy. Like,
Oh yeah, he's like he kind of reaches
Just
into
like-
the glass counter.
was it Twister? Like
It was a Crunch bar.
Crunch bar, right? See, Anthony, that guy knew what's up. He got Crunch.
Yeah. Good thing it wasn't Twizzler.
Yeah. What are you, a Red Vines family?
It's a Red Vines family.
We're a Red Vines family. Oh man! So what else? Actually, Danny, what are some of your favorite moments in this movie?
Well, because you had come in late to the movie.
I've seen this like
no,
20
I know,
times.
but I'm saying like while we were all
When
watching
you
it
came
together.
in, you said,
Yeah.
"Welcome to the party, pal." Is that right?
Yep.
You were talking about like if he had gotten to the part where he stepped on the glass and run through the glass.
Yeah. And Danny's like, no, not yet. I was like,
yeah.
oh shit, I forgot. Like, because
That
Zach
part
hadn't
was,
seen it. I was like, damn it, I forget. Like, because I remember you'd seen it. I was like, wait, you've seen it before, but not Zach. And Zach, I think, wasn't paying attention to me, so it was good.
I feel like that's a pretty iconic scene because he is barefoot and he
Yeah. That's the whole
bleeding
thing.
everywhere.
And then like he was killing the guy. He's like, how am I killing all these guys? They have girls' feet.
Yeah, he's like he tried to get the shoe and
He's got
like,
feet smaller than my sister.
Yeah, he saw him. My sister, like, what the hell is going on? Like, that's perfect. That's the total, like, dude, this isn't going to
Yeah.
work out. Like, what the hell?
like just to lighten the mood.
Yeah, like, it's a pretty tense situation. They had, they've technically killed 2 hostages and,
Like nothing.
yeah, like nothing. One of them was like, they're going to kill Takagi anyway. Like, I feel like that was like a given.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with Ellis as like that little side plot, like, that was like, here, I'm this yuppie, cool capitalist guy or whatever. It's like, homie, you're like, that was like karma, like biting him in the butt. And even, you could even hear, he's just like, dude, don't do this. Like, you don't do this. Like he knew it was going to happen. And it was just scary to then finally see like, hey, these guys for sure mean business because the other shoe dropped. And like, he shot him like right in front of Holly. And you're like, okay. Or like, they shot in the room. You're like, yep, he's gone.
Yeah. Other than that, I wanted to mention like it was cool how since it was all taking place, pretty much the whole movie was in this building. maybe just a couple floors of the building.
Part of that
But-
movie, part of that building, I think when they were shooting was actually under construction. So they were there actually do
Yeah.
stuff. They just had to film a lot at night because there were actual office floors and office floors being used. They couldn't film during the day because with all the the simulated gunshots and stuff. They thought stuff was going down.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, they're like, what the hell? Like, no, that's why.
But it's pretty cool to see how, like, you know, these movies where it's just in one location, they could really make it seem like, you know, they got a huge place to work with and, like, different sets, different spots. Like, they kind of did go back and forth through some of the areas. But
Yeah, they went to the vault area again. They went to like the boardroom party area. They went to the
the
roof,
roof
a couple
and then, like,
times.
the area, like, in between the roof and, like, the elevator and, like...
the
you know.
garage,
Yeah,
and the
so-
lobby.
It was cool to see different areas and not just be trapped in, like, oh, you're just in this one floor all the time. So it was creative.
Yeah, no, it really is. Anthony, some of your favorite moments?
The aside from the obvious the
Yeah.
action sequences, the gunfights, I think one of the best parts is when Hans and McClane meet each other, but they don't know it's them yet.
Yep. Oh,
And then Hans
oh,
turns
God.
on his accent and he makes it seem like he's one of the hostages, and they kind of befriend each other only for like a scene or two. And
like
then McClane is like, all right, follow me. So like you'll stay alive if you follow me. And yeah, it's pretty much like the meeting of the minds. It's like Hans, this like very book smart and calculating bad guy, and then this street cop with the street smarts.
But then he also figured it out, too.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. He
How
figured it out.
smart was that though? That Hans was still on his toes, like
Yeah,
mentally, of looking at the listing of like, oh, I'm Bill Clay, like, and just like, okay, cool, and you see W.M. Clay, you're like, like, and he knew that Bill is short for William.
Yeah, yeah.
And he even said that and like, although the whole thing when the FBI showed up, and he's trying to stall to get all these like different like international groups, so like, hey, we need these people, figure out like, oh, we get this random location, and then like even the other guys like, what the hell are you talking? He's like, I don't know, I read it on Forbes, like he's like, I read it in Time magazine.
Like Asian,
Like the
Asian,
free-
Yeah, the Asian
free
Dawn.
some random
Asian
Yeah,
Dawn.
the Asian Dawn. You're like,
I heard of them on Time magazine.
yeah,
I read about them in Time
I read them
magazine.
in Time magazine. You're like, okay, cool. It's like, and again, like
He
he
does
knows
his
what he's
homework,
doing.
yeah.
Yeah, he did his homework, and the whole idea of like, I want to bring. He's like, he's doing all this wild stuff to get the police department out of their depths, to then finally bring in the FBI, because like, oh, that's what I want. And I need the FBI here because they have a playbook. Follow the playbook that'll get us into the vault to get the bearer bonds.
Turn off the power.
Yeah.
Like, they calculated that, you know.
Yeah, the whole thing. Remember, Takami's like, "Oh, I don't need the vault. Like, why do you guys want the vault? Like, like if you try to change the code, they'll just change it in the morning in Tokyo," which is weird because it's technically
Already
afternoon.
morning?
No, it's like
Oh.
afternoon over there because of the 13-hour
time.
like time difference. It's like midday. Like they won't be in the offices till the morning. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, they're probably there already. That's one of the like little mini like there are little goofs in this movie, but they're passable because this movie's just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hans is too good because like in that moment he obviously knew that was John McClane, so he's like, I have to play stupid because he doesn't know it's me yet.
Yeah.
And then
And he looks like one of these like corporate
yeah,
yuppie
he has
guys.
a business
like,
suit and everything.
yeah,
so
like
done.
people think like back in the day, like 80s, like terrorists, they're looking at Rambo movies and like Commando, where like you have these guys and like military looking dudes. Like, no, like this was like sharp dressed guys, cool, calculating. This the perfect like like very like suave European dude.
And like the way I read it is, I don't think John knew it was him, but I think he didn't want to trust any random guy he just met.
With a gun.
Yeah, even in that moment where he's like, all right, stick with me. Have you
Yeah.
ever shot a gun before? He's like, here, use this gun. And you see him like looking at the barrel, looking at the magazine, making it seem like, okay, the gun's ready, here you go. So I think it was more of just like him testing it out. It's like, I'm not going to give a random stranger
A load of
a loaded weapon. I'm just going to like, as like a test. Like he didn't know it was him until the moment, obviously, when he walks in front of him and then he starts speaking German into the walkie. Then he's like, yeah, I thought I was right, and he was. So.
And what's scary, and this is like good acting, like
Cool
good
scene.
direction in that scene, because you see McClane kind of like disappointed and a little worried, but mostly disappointed because it's like, yep, that's it. And then it's just like, and then you get to the final foot. I remember watching this as a kid. I was like, oh no, like that's the thing. And then he goes, And he keeps walking forward. I was like, dude, he's cold. Like, that's calculated. And then he finally tries to shoot him. He's just like, no bullet. He's like, you think I'm stupid? Like, this. I was like, damn, okay, cool. This guy is street smart. Like, it was, especially you can tell, like, as a New York cop, it's like,
that's the thing.
been around the block a
New
couple
York,
times.
And then right after that is when his goons come up the elevator, and then it's the
he's
sequence
like,
with the glass.
Yeah, he's just like, who's stupid now? It's like, oh, damn. And then you get that whole great scene where, again, he's smart. He's like, dude, he has no feet. Like, he has no shoes. Shoot the glass. And what's funny is
Too many
Carl... Carl, he's speaking to Carl in German, and Carl's like, the hell are you talking about? He's like, no, just shoot the glass. He's like,
yeah, like, why does he have to
the hell?
say
It's like, do you not know what he's
like,
like?
do you not know your own language? Like, come on, dude. I mean, he's probably just so distraught because his brother's dead.
Yeah, Carl.
he
Carl
was
just
like in
focused on,
rage
like,
mode.
I want blood. He's like, you'll get it later. Like, we need to stick to the plan. And the funny is, they have like their hacker guy. I know that guy because of Walker, Texas Ranger. But like
That's his partner, right?
Yeah, that's his partner. But it's fun to see that, like, you know, he's like their hacker guy, and they got to the point when
Typical 80s hacker guy.
Yeah, and like he makes some Christmas quips. So I was like,
True.
okay, like you gotta allow it. But he gets thwarted by our boy Argyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, playing that Run DMC, I think weren't they playing? It's a Christmas in what's the name of that Run DMC song? But they're playing a. It's a.
They were playing in the.
He's playing it in the limo. Yeah, like Run DMC they have a Christmas in Hollis. Yeah, I think they were playing Christmas in Hollis there. So, it is again more reasons to say it's a Christmas movie.
And then I did like the kind of like the not backstory and like side character joining in with Al, like his story and how he does redeem himself at the end.
I think that was a good, endearing moment for not only Al, because it's like, I'm also out of my depth too, but like he's trying to get their attention. And then it was like, you know, that's why he goes, hey, welcome to the party, pal. Like, because it's like, okay, something serious is going on now. That's where they start that radio conversation, and, you know, from cop to cop, they have that sort of like bond, and they can instantly relate and share. And yeah, you get more story from Al. Al then finds out more about Roy, who he thinks he's like Roy so far, but it might just be, you know, then he finds out it's John. And, man.
I like how they towards the end when he comes out of the building, they just look at each other and they know
they're like
that it was them that they were talking to. So that was pretty cool.
And then like even like Holly's looking at us like, oh, this
How do you
okay,
know-
cool.
how do you know
Like
this
like how you know this guy, but like cool. Like you weren't alone in all of this.
Yeah.
Like that's dope. Like you like it made her feel more assured.
And she took her last name back.
Yeah, she said, no, I'm Holly
I'm
McClane.
playing.
Before we get, I want to also like talk about what did you think? So like you normally have like these normal big climactic '80s action fights. Zach, what did you think of the McClane Carl fight, like on the under the roof towards the end?
Under the
blonde guy.
Yeah, basically finding the big blonde guy.
At the end.
At the end, like before, before he gets to the roof.
With
and the climactic, I
I
gotta
almost
jump off the
completely
roof.
forgot.
With
Like,
the
wait,
chain.
what? Because
where
almost
you
forgot.
found that?
Where I found the goof. Okay,
Yeah.
because I'm thinking like on the like more on the roof, was like on the hell on the.
No, it was like
helipad or something.
the-
This was like in before.
Yeah, it's like the steam room and stuff like that before getting to the
Yeah.
roof. Like, what do you think of the fight itself?
Honestly, I forgot. I honestly forgot what just happened.
He's just like, what's going on? Like it was the whole like
the parts that I do remember were like the kick was ridiculous.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
like
super
the-
high
high kick.
from
He like jumps 6
from
feet in the
Carl.
air, and then
Yeah.
he just kicks.
Well, kicked him in the face.
And then he does like a
judo chop.
which John blocks. He's like, you're not judo chopping me. But like before they started off with the fight, like John jumped him and like got like 9 body blows on him. Like they looked vicious.
Yeah,
It was like Rocky versus Drago, because he got
Yeah,
like
it was
10 punches, and then this
Drago's
dude stands up and he just like
one. And he's like, what the
smacks him and knocks Bruce Willis on the floor.
and the sound effect that they added was like
It felt like a punching bag, like doof doof doof, and like it was pretty intense. And like the whole time he's just like, I'm gonna like he's so like McClane's angry because like this guy making my feet bleed. He grazed me in the shoulder. Like I'm pissed. I'm like he's legit out for blood. Like, I'm gonna chop him
McClane
up.
kicked
you
him
know?
too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he kicked him
He
with
kicked
his
him
bloody
too.
ass feet because he's so angry.
Yeah.
At that point, he's in like full Changri mode. Like out for blood. Like, and Carl's out for blood. He's like, oh, you know, you're out for blood, dude. You like it was like raising an escalation to the point where like then like he got him with the choke on the chain and just like flung him out. And then we got to one of my favorite scenes, other than like the ultra climax there, but like where he's trying to get the hostages out of the roof while the douchebag FBI agents, like you can tell those guys are just not it, man. There's like FBI, that FBI's worst. Like,
and the one guy with the sniper was saying something about like Vietnam.
He's just like, it's Saigon. He's like, I was in junior high, idiot. Like, he's just like, what's wrong with him?
But they were flying through the city, like literally right over the highway or the street.
Fun fact: they got like a permit to do that, and then
so it's all practical.
Then they flew it through because like they had it for time.
Yeah.
But then they flew through it like, no, you don't get to do that again. Like that was way too freaky. People were freaking out. Like people thought there was like some like actual like operation where on the area. So it was like, nope, that's your only take. And
that's awesome though. It looked cool.
Yeah, like the them flying through the cityscape, like that was one take only, and like, all right, there we go, we're done.
Don't need any more.
Yeah.
They got lucky with that one.
But not the FBI agents because they got blown up. They blew them up with the roof.
That's slow
Looks
motion.
like you're gonna need more FBI agents.
Yeah, I love that.
Damn, that's messed up.
This guy from Breakfast Club, who was like the lieutenant for the police department of the LAPD. He's just like, I think they need to send more FBI guys. Like, oh, like, and he's not like sad or freaked out about it. He's just like, oh Christ, like,
yeah. He's just watching and
we're just gonna need more FBI guys. Like, this is nuts. Like, you can tell he's like, yeah, this is out of our depth, like 100%.
Yeah.
And thankfully, McClane has like that awesome sequence of like, you know what? I'm gonna tie myself through with this hose, fly out the roof.
I was what?
Yeah, I love that. And he's like, I can't break it. I'm just gonna have to shoot the glass, break through the glass. And you're like, you think he's done?
And then you see the weight bring it down, and you're like, well,
you can tell he felt it. And he's like, oh no. And because you see that now in every other movie, they took that from Die Hard. He's just like, oh no. And so he has to like.
Well, because he's
that
looking
off.
like towards the camera, so he doesn't see the.
But he
can
feels
feel
it. He's like, oh no. Then he goes, oh crap. Like it.
I thought it would have been more of like a yank.
Yeah, like it was initial it was initial pull, and then it's starting to slowly drag him because of the weight, especially because he can't hang on. It's terrible. Yeah, like he has to take that off.
And the window frame is too wide for him to like have his feet hold him like that.
Yeah, at that point he doesn't want to do anything with his feet. Like it hurts to just walk.
True.
It just
So
hurts
bloody.
to walk. Yeah, like they were, and he was like talking to Powell over the radio and like just picking glass out of his foot. And he's like, "Yo, you have flat feet," and that's where you get the whole story of like, why are you like out, just doing patrol work, like and getting grunt work? He's like, and then this line always sticks with me. He's just like, "I made a mistake. I shot a kid." I'm just like, "Damn, buddy."
Just like that.
It's like, wow. He's just like, "Yeah, I shot a kid. It was bad." So it's he gets his, like Danny said, he gets his redemption at the end. But before he shoots Carl, who snuck in with one of the hostages, which is pretty slick. Because like I never noticed. I was like, how I always think, how did he get past that? But rewatching it a couple times, it's like he's like in one of these cots, like, oh no, I'm a hostage. Psych. I got an assault rifle. The whole showdown at the end with Hans is like, oh, what did you say beforehand? Like, yippee-ki-yay? And they all start laughing. He's like, you're hilarious because your accent is stupid when you say and then he's like, ha 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 ha, and then he does the hiding gun. Dude, that's slick. Like that's you
all calculated.
Yeah, I mean, you think it's calculated. It's also like, hey, it's
just
as he's got to go with what he's got. Like it's. Sheer determination and
when you're in that situation, just anything you gotta. Exactly.
One little cool thing thematically is I'll give you some like two bits. One's a piece of trivia, and the other is like a little thematic symbolism. Is that like I don't know if it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but was the watch that she got a gift from Takagi? like from her boss.
Well, yeah, they mentioned the Rolex earlier.
Yeah, the Rolex early, and she had to let go of the fancy Rolex in order to
Yeah.
like like
It was
live.
the MacGuffin all along.
Yeah, the MacGuffin was the watch the whole time.
Save the marriage with the watch.
By letting go of the watch, like her whole, like it was the whole, like I came over to LA and I got this fancy Rolex. I let go of the Rolex, got my marriage back, and I also lived. But the fun fact, and a lot of people know this, but Zach doesn't.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Why don't you know it?
When Hans Gruber falls, like the iconic Hans Gruber falling, so Alan Rickman's like, yeah, I want to do the drop, and so like they're gonna count him down to 3 and drop him.
But they didn't.
They let him go on 2, so that shock of like him freaking out was actual, real, genuine
That's
like
cool.
horror, like him falling. So it was, and then like afterwards he kind of like he's played off. He's like, oh no, it worked. Like it's iconic. Like he couldn't go through everywhere without thinking like, dude, Die Hard. So it created one of the most memorable. Well, honestly, one of the most memorable scenes in cinema, I think. Yeah, man.
Had a lot of memorable scenes.
Yeah, dude. Like
Or pretty iconic scenes, I'll say.
yeah, like you have a lot of movies that take
Inspiration.
from it. So like there's a lot of that happens, and they take it from Die Hard. Like Die Hard is like the sort of like the forerunner for all that. It's really good stuff. At first I was like, damn it, Danny, you picked Die Hard, but then I was like, you know what, no, like an excuse to watch Die Hard again. It's you then think about it, it's like, yeah, like this is great.
It's a fun watch.
Absolutely.
So with that, let's go ahead and rate it.
Classic.
This classic. We'll save Zach for the end since he was the last one to see it. So X.
I am gonna give this movie 5 out of 5 yippee-ki-yays.
Ooh, 5 out of 5.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
doing
man.
5s?
I don't know.
No.
I'm just making up.
He just wanted to say
I just want to say yippee-ki-yay.
5 Nakatomis.
Yeah, like there's no way. Like I can't rate this. It's hard to rate this
Yeah.
movie. If I'm gonna be objective about it, like I definitely like give it a solid 8 out of 10. Like, but it's just too like iconic. You can't ever watch this movie and not feel like your time was wasted by watching this movie. It's too good. Like it's too fun. Like and it's like. Again, it springboarded so many things from like various tropes, the way styles are done, to like springboarding careers. And also as a fun fact, like if you watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it's like Jake Peralta's favorite movie of all time, and like they're all subplots involving Die Hard. You can't have that stuff without the movie Die Hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's too good for me, man. It's awesome.
Anthony?
Yeah, to kind of go off what Xavier's saying, I agree. As like a movie, if you're gonna rate it between all movies, and I'd say like it's like an 8. But for the genre, like an action movie, it's 5 or a 10. It's a 10 out of 10, just because, at least for me, I feel like this is probably an action movie with one of the best. What do you call it? Pacing. Like it has such good pacing where
Oh, it's never dull. You're right.
like the intro of the movie is not too long. It's like 15 minutes maybe to like introduce you to everything that's going on, and then boom, and then everything starts. So it's like there's so many, like it's not 100% action, and it doesn't need to be, but I feel like there's enough action in it spread out through the movie in like the perfect spots and like the perfect length, and like it just suits the movie. I feel like it's one of the most consistent and like well-paced action movies that I've seen. And like, I mean, I had seen action movies before when I was younger, but like since this was like rated R, I didn't really watch it until I was a little bit older. But then watching this, I'm like, oh, now I see where all these other movies get their inspiration from. Because yeah, there were action movies before this in the 70s and 60s, but yeah, like Xavier was saying, this one kind of like put the kibosh on like a lot of future tropes. A lot of action movies base themselves on. So, and rightfully so. Like it's just very well done. The acting is good for an action movie, because most people think nowadays like, oh, it's an action movie, like whatever, you don't have to have good acting as long as the action is. It's like, no, like the story is good. Like it's a decently told story, but it's told well within its genre. Like it's a good story, well acted, and good action. in this genre that normally isn't supposed to have that stuff. It's like, so you can make good action movies. It doesn't necessarily have to be like Meg 2, where it's just like, there's action in this movie, but it's nonsensical. It makes no sense, and you laugh at it probably most of the movie.
He said the words that I was exactly.
I love Jason Statham.
Total nonsense.
I love Jason Statham. I watched probably almost all his movies because I like action movies. But a lot of Jason Statham movies are like that, where they're kind of stupid. But Jason Statham has done plenty of actually really good action movies. So it's like he's done a mix of both. But this one in particular, Die Hard, it was like the start of like, oh, you can do it like this. Kind of like there's those tempo movies in each genre, like every even like 10 years, where it's like, oh, like the Nolan movies. Oh, you can do Batman like that. Iron Man. Oh, you can do superhero movies like Iron Man. Like that's what started the MCU. So this is that type of movie for action movies. And so yeah, this movie is very good, and lots of things pay homage to this movie. One of my favorite comedy shows, Community, has one of the best episodes of the show in the first season. Like the second to last episode was like a paintball. A whole paintball episode, and like a lot of it.
Joel McHale is basically like dressed up as John McClane.
Yeah, a lot of that episode is just like homages to this movie, to Die Hard, and What If season 2 just recently had like a whole episode of like Happy Hogan
saving Christmas,
like in Avengers Tower, not Nakatomi Plaza, but it was like pretty much an Avengers.
And Darcy can't figure out it's actually Die Hard. Like,
Die Hard, yeah.
She's just like naming not the Die Hard movie.
Like it's at this point, it's so classic that so many things just rip off of it, and yeah, it's for a reason because it's very good. So
yeah,
yes.
Anytime someone's stuck in an event, people know, oh, that's a Die Hard thing. Like anybody knows that, like, you know, they're walking around with no shoes, it's a Die Hard thing. People are gonna try to say yippee-ki-yay, but censor or whatever it is, like it's a Die Hard thing.
10 out of 10 Argyles for an action movie.
10 out of 10 Argyles. Nice. Danny?
Just 10 out of 10.
Just like it's stuff.
It's an awesome
but
movie.
10 out of 10 Nakatomi Towers.
Like specifically what you mentioned, like pacing, like this movie has great
so
pacing.
good.
Yeah.
You're not bored at all.
Like even the slow moments, which is not slow, is just like
it's tense.
Yeah,
It's
Tense,
like
and it's continuous. It's like it continues to move the story of what is happening. Like
Correct.
You finally find out, oh, what it is that they're doing, what it is that they're trying to
It leads
steal.
to the next thing.
It's like
they're not trying to like bully around and try to, you know, muscle out of some Japanese. No,
Like,
they're
no scene
steering
is
bearer
wasted.
bonds. Like like it's all about. But they're just thieves in the end. It's like what the hell?
like most action movies.
They have, like,
They have
random
awesome action,
scene.
but then after the 5 or 10 minute action sequence, then it's like 20 or 30 minutes of, oh man, this is boring. Like I don't even care what they're talking about. Oh, cool,
random,
another
like,
action
love
scene.
story that like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But this one, like, you know, him trying to get back with his wife, and you know, the dinner or the party guest, you know, even the characters within the employees, like they have like part of a story, and every villain has, you know, you get to see their story, like the brother that died,
Right.
you know,
And it's all conveyed either at
cop
the beginning of the
outside.
movie or in little pieces throughout the movie.
the cop outside, Argyle, like they all tie in to this big story. So yeah, just 10 out of 10. Also, it's funny.
Yeah.
Perfect mix of action and comedy, and
Yeah, and again that tension too, because they make it plain that the stakes are real.
Yeah.
Like, they
like they literally kill a
hostages.
bunch of people in this movie.
They kill a few hostages, like at least two of them. And they kill a couple guards. I was like, man, those guards did not deserve that. They like
and they get like intense deaths.
yeah. I'm pretty sure it's like, you know, some SWAT guys got handicapped. Like you know, it's bad.
The constant just Bruce Willis talking to himself, like, come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs. And that's like him in the vents, like he's like, why the hell am I here? It's like
he's so frustrated, and also like, how do I get out of this? Like, what the hell?
He's like, I just had to come to this stupid party.
And like he has to like quip just to kind of get it off his chest. So like the whole like I have my, you know, the one upping the terrorist group. Again, like the ho ho ho, I have a machine gun. There's like, and like Hans reading is like ho ho ho, I have a machine gun, and he's just like, we need to get rid of this. Like that was like it's like he's not like, who is this guy? It's more just like, this is a problem now. Like this guy is starting to like pick us off. This is it's so good. It's too good. All right, Zach.
And last but not least,
No pressure, but
No pressure. No, I think it's pretty easy for me to rate. So to piggyback off of what Anthony was saying about action movies, like I'm not a big fan of action movies in general. Hold on.
which is hella surprising. But yeah.
Not a big fan because I always found a lot of them to be like the cheesy and like it's
You gotta
just
watch the
about
right ones,
action.
man.
There's
You gotta
no
watch the right
Yeah.
there's no like substance to it.
You gotta watch the trendsetters, the ones that like set the standards.
Yeah.
Speed. Have you seen Speed? Have you seen it?
I've seen like a majority of it.
Speed and Die Hard are basically like those are the trendsetters
The
of just
OGs.
like any other scenario. It's like this is like Speed but with a plane, or like people are like this is like Die Hard but in a pyramid or something weird stupid like that.
Taken is on Taken on a train.
Like,
Taken
just
on
like
a
how
plane.
Taken is one of these
Taken
movies,
to the
like-
graves. Or
Taken
Taken on ice.
memory.
Yeah, I love Taken on Ice.
Takens with wolves. Like,
He's
Great.
God.
but yeah, a lot of movies now you could be like, it's like Taken, but like this because Taken was so good. So
Die Hard's the same thing.
I've seen bits and pieces of.
Oh, we gotta
Dude,
do
the
that
first
one
one-
at some
the first
point.
one
First
is
one is
a legend.
the first
it's
one is
very good
legendary,
movie,
dude.
Very good movie.
I think
Not that much
I saw
shaky cam,
bits and
and
pieces
that's
when,
it.
like whenever years ago when my dad watched it, but not too much of anything
Boya.
else. But a lot of why I don't like a lot of action movies is because my dad watches a lot of like those
Steven Seagal.
Yeah. So I was just
Yes,
no, stop. I was just thinking is like because Under Siege.
My dad too.
It's a dad thing.
I had an older like half brother, and he likes the Seagal, like a lot of the earlier Seagal.
The earlier
stuff.
ones were good.
Yeah,
The
like
earlier
like
ones were
Under
good.
Siege is a classic, but Under Siege you can consider is like
But
Die Hard.
These are these like
in a-
TV movie or like
Oh,
like
no,
direct
The
to
early
video.
one, no, the
early
early
ones
ones.
were in
Those
theater.
are theater movies.
Like Under Siege, that is they're stuck in like a destroyer that has like nuclear codes, whatever, and like he's like the cook or whatever. But it turns out, wait, I'm actually fully capable, like an ex-Navy SEAL or something. Same thing with it's like they take the formula of Die Hard, but like, hey, we're gonna put this former super soldier guy, like former Navy SEAL dude, like taking out all these dudes.
My God,
So like that again. Now you understand. It's like, Die Hard is the progenitor of all this stuff.
cheese,
Cheese, exactly.
Jesus Christ,
Cheese
Cheese and crackers.
cheese and crackers.
My goodness.
My God.
But there have been movies like recently that I've seen like John Wick, which are great action
Yeah, but
movies.
those are
That
awesome.
Yeah, we've shown you the light of what a good action movie can.
That's
can
a different,
yeah.
like especially with 4 that just recently came out. 4 had
Magnum opus.
really long action sequences, but even the stuff in between action sequences, it's like I'm invested, and it's like I don't care how long this is. Like I'm watching.
Be. That's the magnum
Like
opus.
however long you want to take to get to the next sequence, it doesn't matter because I just think all this is cool.
Yeah,
And you're like, cool. It takes like 20, 30 minutes to get to the next scene, but then it's another 30 minutes of a crazy action scene.
you wouldn't have Alan Rickman as Severus Snape without Die Hard, and you wouldn't have
For
Bruce,
sure.
and you wouldn't have Bruce Willis going through like the '90s as like your Joe Schmo action guy, and we wouldn't have the great Fifth Element without Die Hard.
Fifth Element. He was in Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. I mean, and I will say now that you've seen Die Hard, like if you ever get a chance on your own, Part 2 is all right, but Part 3 is actually gets the same director from Part 1 back for Part 3. Part 3 is very good.
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson, Jeremy Irons.
Ooh, okay.
It's very good.
Pretty
It is a really cool
heavy
movie. The ending's kind of, but like it's the whole like leading up to everything is actually a really good movie. Yeah, it's might not really spoiler, but it's cool because it actually takes place in John's home turf of New York.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not like him in another location. No, it's him in New York.
Well, and I do want to say that because the only other Die Hard movie that I've ever seen was Live Free or Die
Oh,
Hard.
jeez.
With Justin Long.
No.
Yeah, that's the one Justin Long.
Yeah, Live Free or Die Hard.
Number 4.
With Timothy Oliphant,
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it was
Maggie Q.
in theaters.
I did
that
too.
watched it
And Mary Elizabeth.
because my dad
Winstead.
took me to go watch it back then.
Son, we're gonna teach you about what's weird. He's like, we're gonna teach you about Die Hard by watching the 4th one. Like,
When that one came out, I always found it weird that they made a PG-13. I'm like, all the other ones
I
are rated
remember
R.
that too. Yeah.
But on the DVD or Blu-ray release, they came out with the rated R version. It was like
It's just him
It was
saying,
slightly
like,
more
throwing a
violent,
couple
and at the
F-bombs.
end, he actually says "Yippee-ki-yay, MF," whereas in the PG-13 one, he says "Yippee-ki-yay," and then like he
mutes?
shoots a bullet, and it's like the bullet sound like mutes whatever he says
He's
afterwards.
like,
So it's
yippee-ki-yay, mother... And it's like, oh, come on.
It's like
Um,
the guess they just wanted to make more money making it PG-13. So.
Yeah, you draw like younger audience that way.
yeah, but I just find it odd because
But then
your
they
dad
haven't seen
wouldn't have
1,
been
2,
like,
and 3.
If I were to be like, we're gonna get you to watch part 1. I remember a friend of mine.
My dad isn't that kind of movie guy.
He just doesn't.
Like he's like, oh, we gotta watch this first.
Well,
It's
technically,
not that
the
you-
movie doesn't say Die Hard 4.
It just says live
Live
free.
free.
Die Hard.
Free Die Hard, so...
Like going into the
But
movie,
the
I
thing
knew
is,
that it wasn't
every
the
Die
first one. I
Hard
knew there had been a
sequel was
couple
never
before.
numbered.
Yeah.
Because Die Hard 2 is Die Hard is just Die Harder, and then
Die Hard.
no,
third-
I think it was Die Hard 2, Die
Harder?
Harder. Yeah.
and then
And
Die Hard with a Vengeance is just Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yeah.
Like it's
And then a good
The
day
E
to
is
Die
actually
Hard.
a 3 in Vengeance.
I mean, there's so many movies doing.
oh
it.
yeah,
Like,
Die Hard 2 is Die Hard 2, and it's just
Expendables.
Die Harder.
That's
Yeah.
so dumb.
That's perfect.
The
Die Hard.
Final
So
Destination.
your rating was...
5 Cream.
So this is up there in some
Oh,
of the
yeah,
best
you were
action
saying,
movies.
like, action movies. Uh-huh.
I would give this a very solid 9
Ooh.
Ooh,
Soft 9.
out of 10.
Or a strong
Nice,
Okay.
nice.
I like it. Good job.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, because it was definitely a fun
I'm always
watch.
gonna enjoy this movie. It's too good. All right. So speaking of movies to enjoy, give us a little preview of what we got for next time, Zach. It's
Alright,
your
so
turn.
with much thought,
Ooh.
Oh,
because I have a few here written down. And I think that the one that I kind of want to watch that has been kind of on my radar for a while, The King's Speech.
Oh.
Yeah,
I know-
I
I
only
just-
just haven't seen it.
just
we're
in
gonna
time
flip-
for Oscars season.
We're gonna flip the genres here. Go from
Ooh.
action to like
This is actually
Lots of
Wow.
action.
This is in one of my like top 10 movies made. Like,
Yeah, I
this
know
is a
you've
very
mentioned
good
that
movie.
it's one of your favorites.
Thematically, like what it's about, how it fits in history. Like I love this movie. My
And-
sister loves this movie too.
I've never seen it. I've
Oh,
never seen
man,
it.
I can't
This
wait.
movie's mainly for me.
I
Good
haven't
man,
seen it.
I'm for it, dude.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Danny hasn't
No.
seen it.
Oh, I'm for the both of
it's-
you.
it's
This is
perfect.
great.
All I know is that it has Helena Bonham Carter, and it has Colin Farrell.
Nope. Try again.
Oh no! Oh, sorry. Colin Firth.
Colin
There you go.
Kaepernick.
Not Colin Farrell. Colin
It's
Firth.
like I was like, nope. Try again.
Same first
It
name.
also
He's
has
missing
Jeffrey
the-
Rush.
Huh?
Jeffrey
Jeffrey
Rush.
Oh, Jeffrey Rush too. Oh yeah.
Did he win the? Did he was? I know he was nominated. Did he win the Oscar for
Supporting?
this one? Yeah. Did he win supporting for this one?
I'm not sure. Possibly.
I know.
Before Captain Barbosa, right?
No.
no,
was
this
after.
is after. My dude.
I thought the movie was like 2000 or something.
No.
What year's the movie?
Like 07 maybe?
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought it was
05,
older.
07?
I thought it was a little bit older.
So he was a nominee for King's Speech, but didn't win.
When did the movie come out?
He won in Shine in 1997. So he's technically an Academy Award winner. When what happened? Sorry.
When did the King's Speech come out?
It came out 2010.
Oh, even like wow, that late.
Yeah,
Wow.
dude.
I thought it was an older movie. I thought it was like a early 2000s, late 90s, maybe at the latest or early, oldest. But man, 2010 it was only 13, 14 years ago. Jeez. So it's younger than Iron Man. Interesting.
Yeah. Younger than
It's such an interesting
younger than
thing to think.
than,
Our comparisons for
Dark Knight.
timings is MCU.
Yeah, it's like Zach's like I use
it's
MCU as
younger,
my.
yeah.
There's people who were like, they were
Younger
probably
than
like
that too.
either weren't born or they were little kids when Iron Man came out, and now they're like, I've seen all of them with my parents,
I was
and now
10.
I'm 16. I'm like, oh my jeez.
I was 10 when Iron Man came out. Now I'm 26.
We were in college. Holy
As of
crap,
yesterday.
Anthony, everything hurts. Oh, you want to know why Jeffrey Rush? I think lost. I think it's because of was it Inglorious Bastards? Christoph Waltz. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like,
you're just gonna lose.
oh no, sorry, that's the wrong year. It was the year before, or
2009.
there's a 2011. I think. No.
Well, Inglourious Basterds came out
The
in
Academy,
2009.
the Academy Award would have been in 2011.
Yeah, it should be in 2011. So, this was.
Inglourious Basterds was 20.
Yeah, so it was the 2011. Oh, you know what? Christian Bale won for The Fighter.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what happened. Christian Bale started collecting Oscars.
That's a solid pick.
Good take, my man.
Another
Good pick.
one of
it's streaming,
half
too.
seen it, half haven't. So that's a good discussion there. But yeah, until next time.
All
I'm
right,
looking
cool,
forward
guys.
to it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
for
really looking to it.
another like dramatic,
Yeah,
probably like very emotional
Yep.
for sure.
movie. It seems like.
Good, yeah. It's a good little change of pace from what we've been getting before. So with that, everybody, we are going to make sure that once this episode goes live, we'll put a poll up on our socials and make sure we want to get the discussion going and keep it alive. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yes, no. Is this your favorite Bruce Willis movie of all time? If it isn't, tell us your personal favorite. Fifth Element, sorry. But something in my throat. The discussion will be up live, pretty soon after this episode goes up. We'll hope to have it there. If you end up listening to this afterwards, when you do, please hit us up on X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, as well as leave comments on your podcast platform of choice, and as well as YouTube. We'll be putting all of our audio up there as well, and we're hoping to get some remote video in for the four of us at the video conference in the next episode or two. So look forward to that as well, everybody.
Make sure to, if you can't find anything, just go to popcornwatchlist.com.
Popcornwatchlistpopcom.com. Popcom? Yeah, it's the secret.
Popcom.
It's the secret URL. Magnitude? No. Popcornwatchlist.com. Please go to your preferred platform and like and subscribe. See if you want to hear more of the good stuff. Thank you so much again for tuning in. And until the next time Hans Gruber falls off a building.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Later.
Bye-bye.